It's Friday, which of course means it's time for this week's Heroes and Zeros, where we highlight the people who put in the hard work to help the planet and those who need to step up their game. And this week's hero was also inspired by New York City's smoky skyline. Our hero of the week is none other than Amir Thompson, better known as the musician Questlove, drummer for The Roots, leader of the Tonight Show house band. Just like Shawn Mendes, Questlove was stunned to see the city skyline turn orange from all that wildfire smoke. So he went to Instagram and expressed his feelings about our changing climate and saying, quote, it is not my intention to panic post. But you, I don't watch the news squad, need to know how serious global warming is. We have the worst air quality on the planet. He was talking about New York City. It's bad enough the amount of environmental racism that has transpired over the decades/century, but this is not a one and done. Just know this is past the state of emergency, and this is light work compared to what will happen if we don't wake up. Half of y'all mindlessly putting climate deniers in office who don't care at all what happens as long as they get their piece, end quote. Questlove putting his social media influence to good use, sounding the alarm about wildfire smoke and climate change. That's why Quest is this week's climate hero.
Using your platform to get the word out, right? We can all agree that that's something we should do. All right, I will move on to our Zeros segment. This week's Climate Zero, should I say zeros, plural, because there's a whole group of people that made their case for this title this week, and all of this makes me just scratch my head and be like, what are you thinking? It's summertime and more people are hitting our national parks, right? But some of our visitors just don't stop messing with the wildlife over at Yellowstone. Have you seen videos of this yet? Take this woman for starters. She decided that on a recent trip to the park, she was like, oh, it might be a good idea to just take a selfie with a bison. Let me just get a little closer for that Insta pic. One move from that bison and she's going to the hospital. This is just silliness. The people who shot the video said they were just horrified by the woman's actions. That's a wild animal. And then there's a video of two men crowding a pair of bison. Question is, why are you guys getting so close? Well, you gotta get the picture, right? No! Really? People in the background can be heard screaming at the men, leave the animals alone. This is not a zoo. They're not behind bars. They are open and they are in the wild for a reason. Now, I know it's not just bison. Over Memorial Day weekend, the park says visitors put a baby elk in their car. All right, and then the same weekend, two bears and an elk and a bison, they ended up getting hit by cars on park property. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone has bad intentions, right? I get that, but this person thought he was helping the baby bison up the hill. You remember this story, right? The calf's mother herd abandoned it because of the human contact. The calf had to be euthanized because they couldn't reorient it with its family. Last week, the man ended up pleading guilty and will have to pay $1,000 in fines. Now, here's the thing. These wildlife, as I mentioned, they're animals. They're not pets. They're not here for your Insta pics or your TikToks. We are in their backyard. The national parks were created to preserve these precious areas and their home. So to all our, what we're calling climate zeros this week, admire them from a distance. Keep your hands and cameras to yourself. And these cameras have got good zoom features nowadays, right? Just double tap, zoom in, get that photo. It's cool that they're there, but getting too close to them, I mean.
I wish I was that confident. I would be scared out of my mind to even get like, in my car when we were in Yellowstone as a kid and they were kind of walking by, I was still scared inside the car.
They're huge animals.
I wish I had more confidence.
Okay.